a special record set by De Bruyne's goal in the history of the Champions League. Manchester City scored very quickly in the game against Real Madrid and managed to score their first goal in the second minute of the game by Kevin De Bruyne on the center of Riyad Mahrez. Make it hard. Manchester City defeated Real Madrid 4-3 at the Etihad Stadium in Manchester, and now Guardiola students have 90 minutes to reach the final of the Champions League at the Santiago Bernabeu, which they should not lose. The moment Vinicius crossed Fernandinho with a spectacular cross. Vinicius Jr. scored Real Madrid's second goal against Manchester City, and he did it in such a spectacular way that his goal will be one of his most memorable goals at Real Madrid. While Real Madrid was behind with a result of 3-1, Vinny Jr. on a stage with a spectacular move left Fernandinho behind and moved towards the goal of Manchester City and was able to score after walking half of the field. Vinny Jr. tricked Fernando into passing him and, without touching the ball, dropped it so that the ball could pass between the legs of the Brazilian Manchester City player and Vinny Jr. could make a spectacular start behind him. With this start, Vinicius somehow revived the memory of Gareth Bale's goal against Barcelona in the final of the 2014 Copa del Rey, because Bale had travelled halfway to score that goal. Laporta changed its position towards the Netherlands. Barcelona president Juan Laporta has ruled out the possibility of buying Norwegian star Borussia Dortmund Erling Haaland, calling it impossible. With the end of the season approaching, transfer rumors are reaching their peak. A few months ago, Barcelona made initial contact with Erling Haaland's program manager, Mino Raiola, and they even held several meetings. At the time, Raiola was positive about the Netherlands joining the Blaugrana, and even this led Laporta to say in his interviews that Barca were very interested in the Netherlands. Benzema's Instagram reaction to the defeat against Manchester City: the game has just started. Manchester City defeated Real Madrid 4-3 in the first leg of the semi-finals of the Champions League, and now it remains to be seen what will happen in the return match because the citizens are essentially one goal ahead. And Real Madrid need a comeback in the return leg to reach the final. Karim Benzema was still the star of Real Madrid in this game and kept the hopes of Madrid back for the game and comeback against Manchester City. Benzema scored 2 goals in this game, his first goal with a left foot shot in a difficult situation and his second goal with a chip penalty. The game has just begun. We are Real Madrid. Benzema, who is currently the top scorer in the Champions League, posted on his personal Instagram page after the game and defeated Real Madrid. Manchester City 4-3 Real Madrid / Ancelotti students hope for Combe survived. In the semi-finals of the Champions League, Manchester City and Real Madrid met at the Etihad Stadium in Manchester, and finally the game ended with a 4-3 victory for Manchester City and witnessed one of the most interesting games we were in European football this season. Real Madrid started this match like a nightmare and scored 2 goals in the same quarter of an hour, and the situation became very difficult for Ancelotti's students. Kevin De Bruyne and Gabriel Jesus scored Manchester City's goals early in the game. Karim Benzema's work on Mandy's cross was able to make up for one of Real Madrid's goals scored at the end of the first half to end the game with a 2-1 result in the first half. Manchester City 4-3 Real Madrid, Champions League semi-final stage. Manchester City in the first leg of the semi-finals of the Champions League managed to cross the barrier of Real 4-3. The long sitting that Benzema went to Etihad Stadium. Real Madrid and Manchester City will meet at Manchester United Etihad Stadium from 23:30 tonight, Tuesday, and thus it can be said that they will play the most sensitive match in recent European football, and it should be seen what will happen in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Last night Real Madrid held its last training session before the match against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium in Manchester, thus preparing for the game against the citizens. After Real Madrid's last group training session, Karim Benzema did more training at the Etihad Stadium to prepare his body, and he did long movements and sitting on the grass of the Etihad Stadium, the images of which were noticed by some social media users. The special number that Benzema reaches against Manchester City. Tonight, Tuesday, At 23:30 Real Madrid and Manchester City will meet in the first leg of the semi-finals of the Champions League and will play a crucial game, and it should be seen that in this game what is the result. A lot of attention is focused on Karim Benzema tonight, because he was the one who led Real Madrid to the semi-finals with his goals in the previous stages, and now it must be seen that he can shine in the semi-finals as well. To repeat against Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea or not. The game against Manchester City will be a special game for Karim Benzema in terms of statistics and numbers, because Karim Benzema will reach 600 games for Real Madrid in the game against Manchester City, thus setting a special record for himself. Benzema has been with Real Madrid since the summer of 2009 and has now reached 600 appearances for Real Madrid and has become a Madrid legend. Milan's managerial changes after the transfer of ownership / Maldini and Zlatan? According to Italian sources and media reports, the plan after the possible transfer of Milan to InvestCorp is that Gazidis is going to leave and Maldini, Mascherano, and Ibrahimovic will stay with the Rossoneri. InvestCorp does not intend to stop working with Paolo Maldini, Ricky Mascherano and Zlatan Ibrahimovic after taking over the Italian club Milan. The Bahraini fund has offered Elliott €1.1 billion and the transfer of ownership of the Italian club is expected to be completed within the next 2 weeks. A reporter for Gazzetta dello Sport states what is the first step of the new owners at AC Milan. While Evan Gazidis will leave the club with Elliott as the current CEO of Milan with a salary equivalent to €3 million, Paolo Maldini and Ricky Mascherano are said to be the two top managers of the Rossoneri. He will also retain his position of sports manager and will continue his activities in this club as before. Milan's progress over the last few years has been remarkable and the potential owners of the Rossoneri do not intend to take a different path. Introducing people from Bayern Munich with the most Bundesliga titles. After a 3-1 victory over Borussia Dortmund, FC Bayern Munich won the German league for the 10th consecutive season and for the 32nd time in total. The 10th consecutive championship of Munich is also a new record for Thomas Müller, who is lifting the Bundesliga for the 11th time in his career. No player in Germany has ever been so champion. In the following, we will review and introduce the most proud players of Bayern Munich in terms of winning the Bundesliga. Thomas Müller has been a FCB player for more than a decade and has been in the first team since 2009. He has been a member of Bayern Munich's 11 recent Bundesliga titles since 2010. Müller is definitely the most unique player in the 59-year history of the Bundesliga. Manuel Neuer and Robert Lewandowski, two champions with Dortmund, and David Alaba are the second most Bundesliga champions. Like Müller, Neuer has been German champion for 10 consecutive seasons since 2013. The other three players have won 9 championships. Frank Ribéry was the German champion from 2008 to 2010 and then from 2013 to 2019, Jerome Boateng and Xavi Martinez from 2013 to 2021. 3 players who can replace Dybala at Juventus. The contract of the Argentine star Bianconeri with this team has expired at the end of the season Serie A competitions and will not be extended, and this player will play his last games for the Old Lady. With the departure of Paulo Dybala from Juventus, we take a look at the 3 players that the Turin club should consider to replace its star. Juventus, meanwhile, have claimed that Paulo Dybala's name was removed from Juventus' roster the following year when the case for Dusan Vlahovic was opened. The Argentine striker will end his stay in Turin at the end of the season after not agreeing to extend his contract. Many players are linked with a move to Turin, and Juve are looking at players Juventus should be considering to replace Dybala. Logos of the last 9 World Cups.